Hey gamers, game lovers, and everyone else in between, this is Laura and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. And I know it's been a while, so apologies. I'm going to be doing a prediction for the Stranger Things Season 5, who I think will live and who I think will die. I don't know if I'm going to be 100% accurate, but I am going to go through kind of like the cast, like the minor characters first, and then I'll go into the main cast. I don't know if they're gonna have the entire cast from like previous seasons, so let's see. Alright, so some less known characters like Susie and Argyle. I feel like they probably won't focus on side characters like them dying. Like, I feel like that wouldn't be like a huge impact, even though Argyle is really cool and Susie has saved the world. Karen Wheeler, Mrs. Wheeler. I feel like I don't know if she would be considered, like, again, for some of the minor characters. I don't know. And I feel like they wouldn't worry about that too much. Starting to get into some of the minor characters, but also kind of main characters. Murray and Erica. I feel like... Yeah, I don't know if they would kill off their characters. I feel like it wouldn't have much of an impact, like, as sad it is to say, since they are cool characters, like, but I guess it would depend on the plot for them, for their characters. Jonathan, Robin, Steve, and Nancy. I feel like one of their characters may die. Season 4 was leading up to Nancy and Steve getting back together again, but I actually have this kind of funny theory that people were talking a lot about how at the end of season 4, like, there were like quote-unquote pairings of different characters, like Hop and Joyce, and Nancy and Jonathan, and then Will and Mike. I feel like my theory is that one character in each of those pairings is going to die. I don't know why. I have this weird feeling about that. In my brain, it wouldn't make sense for them to kill off Nancy or Steve, since they were hinting at like them almost getting back together. And then even like with Joyce and Hopper, since his character supposedly almost seemed like he was going to get killed off, I think what would be even crazier is if they killed off Joyce. She's had no reason to really worry too much about her. I mean, obviously the whole Russia thing, that was I don't know, it just never entered my mind that she would be in danger. But of Steve, Nancy, Jonathan, and Robin, it's potential that definitely one is gonna be going. I don't know why I feel that way, but yeah. And then, like I said, with Hopper and Joyce, I feel like one of them could go. But again, I don't know. Like I said, in season 4, they really were doing the pair-ups. I don't know, maybe they want to break our hearts. And then in the main cast, I have a feeling Max is going to eventually get out of her coma. Like, I feel like Eleven's gonna find her in Vecna, and then when they defeat Vecna, because at the end of the series, I'm sure that, you know, they'll eventually save the day, but with like casualties and stuff. I feel like Eleven will sacrifice herself to save Max and everybody. So I definitely have that feeling that 11 is going to sacrifice herself in the end. I did see the trailer like a little bit, like, I didn't want to spoil myself too much, but it did look like Will and Vecna were together. And I think from my last rewatch, it was that Vecna is being controlled by the Mind Flayer, and that's why Will can feel him. Like, so I don't know if Vecna is truly doing it for himself or it's the Mind Flayer kind of thing. But Will has probably going to get sacrificed. I feel like that might happen. Mike, I don't know. Like, even though Will was calling him the Heart in season 4, I felt like Mike didn't do very much in season 4. I don't know why. I mean, it's been a while. I can't really remember my original reaction, but from my, like, rewatches, it just, besides, like, encouraging Eleven, he didn't seem to do too much. So, I don't know for Mike. I'm undecided for Mike. Lucas and Dustin, I feel like they would kill off one of them. And I know that a lot of people like Dustin a lot and would be, like, really mad if he were to go. I just don't understand how, like, he would be involved, since, I mean, he was kind of in the battle in season 4 a little bit, but not too much. And the same for Lucas. Yeah, to overcap, 11 I think is going to sacrifice herself and die. Mike, I don't think so. Will, I think so. Lucas is a maybe. Max, I think, will survive because of 11's sacrifice. Dustin, I hope, will survive. I really like his character, but he's kind of a maybe also for me. I'm not sure. Steve and Nancy, again, I think one of them could die, especially since Nancy was in danger at one point by Vecna, more so than, like, Steve was, like, you know, mentally. So they either will both survive or one of them will die. Same for Hopper and Joyce. They will either both survive or one of them's going to die. Jonathan, I'm not sure for him. He didn't do a whole lot in season 4. So I feel like he could also die and, like, sacrifice himself if Will dies, kind of thing. Or to sacrifice himself so Will won't die. Robin, I don't know, to be honest. I guess it really depends on the storyline for her. And eventually I think Vecna will die. So yeah, that's my thoughts on which characters I think will live or die. I hope you enjoyed this short little insight that I have. I'm kind of doing this more for me, so I can, like, say, haha, I was right, or I was totally off. So yeah. Hopefully I will have a schedule come up soon for back to my normal scheduled programmed videos and stuff. But until then, thank you so much for watching. Have a great day and or rest of your day, wherever you're tuning in from. And I'll see you guys all again, hopefully soon. Bye!